Listen, if you're a station manager, a media owner, or honestly just fascinated by digital strategy, you already know the pressure to adapt right now is intense. Today, we're diving into some fascinating real-world data straight from the highly competitive radio market of Iveden. We're going to unpack this together to figure out what actually works, what completely fails, and how you can capture real, tangible value from a digital audience.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, the media convergence era. Second, the follower count illusion. Third, winning the content game. And finally, the station manager's playbook. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The media convergence era. To really understand where we're going, we first have to trace how broadcasting drastically evolved to reach today's digital landscape. It's an incredible leap when you think about it. From the earliest voice boxes invented by Marconi or Fessenden way back in the 1900s, to 1997 when 6 Degrees launched, and then bam, Facebook and Twitter explode onto the scene in 2004 and 2006. Today, we've hit total media convergence, where entirely distinct formats are forced to live together on the exact same screens. Now, media convergence is specifically the network architecture where traditional broadcasters merge distinct media into common digital interfaces. And here's the absolutely crucial point. Convergence is not just simulcasting. You can't just stick a webcam in your studio and call it a day. It's about a synergistic distribution of your news, your programs, and your commercials across platforms. Which brings us to Section 2, the follower count illusion. Let's look at a really eye-opening data set from the city of Ibadan, which hosts 23 different FM stations, to see if this convergence strategy is actually working for the big players. Analysts zeroed in on 5 prominent stations in this market: Agidigbo FM, Fresh FM, 32 FM, Lagelu FM, and Splash FM. Combined, these heavyweights boasted a massive 1,789,000 Facebook followers. That's a huge number, right? Enough to make any station manager feel like they've won the game. But it brings up a vital million-dollar question. Does a massive following actually guarantee an active audience? I mean, are those nearly 2 million people genuinely listening and engaging, or are they just phantom metrics looking pretty on a dashboard? Well, when we look at the raw follower numbers, there's a big surprise. Agidigbo FM had literally the lowest follower count of the bunch. The other 4 stations absolutely towered over them in sheer audience size. But here is the dramatic twist. Despite having the absolute smallest following, Agidigbo FM heavily outperformed the giants in actual captured value. We're talking real likes, comments, shares, and views. The stations with the highest followers, like Fresh FM and Splash FM, they had significantly lower actual engagement. So the data completely exposes this follower count illusion. A huge number of followers simply does not translate into large viewership. If your strategy is just hoarding followers while your engagement flatlines, well, that strategy is fundamentally broken. You're basically just shouting into the void. Let's move to Section 3, winning the content game. We need to know exactly how Agidigbo FM won this engagement war with the fewest followers. What was their secret sauce? It all comes down to specific content categories. Issues-focused programs like a show called Kokoro A Late captured the highest share of engagement by far. Entertainment and sports followed right behind. But standard newspaper reviews and traditional news commentary, they completely fell flat on social media. As the research points out, followers engaged way more with entertainment and sports than with newspaper reviews and news commentary. This proves something absolutely critical. A radio audience behaves completely differently than a social media audience. You literally cannot treat the platforms the same way. All right, Section 4, the station manager's playbook. How do we actually fix this, leverage these platforms, and capture real value? Here is your actionable, data-driven 4-step playbook. Step 1, augment Facebook notifications with custom apps. Step 2, leverage Facebook analytics. Step 3, map demographics and psychographics. And Step 4, personalize your content. So Step 1, create custom apps to notify your followers about live streams. You absolutely cannot rely purely on Facebook's default algorithms. They're way too restrictive. You need to augment those standard features and actively notify your followers the precise moment your key programs go live. Next, Steps 2 and 3. Stop guessing and use the Facebook Analytics section of your fan page. You've got to map out the demographics and psychographics. Actually, scratch that. It's not just mapping. It's deeply understanding your viewers' gender, their interests, and their specific local concerns. Finally, step 4. Once you have those insights, redefine and personalize your content specifically for the digital audience. Because remember, your terrestrial broadcast cannot just be copy-pasted to social media. It needs to be tailored for the exact people scrolling on their phones.
I'll leave you with this provocative question to challenge your strategy moving forward. Look at your station today. Are you just broadcasting to a passive audience to hoard vanity metrics? Or are you ready to actually build an active, valuable community? The true winners of the convergence game aren't the ones with the most followers. They're the ones with listeners who actually care. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this playbook helps you totally transform your station strategy.